you actually authorized? Come here a moment. Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? You've been reviewing our experiments. I hope I'm not being replaced. I specifically went to mental refreshment to avoid that. If you wish to see the modulator, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Take these credentials with you, in case you're asked. Security's become awfully stringent of late. It wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I carried 2 cards, just in case. Oh, though I suppose it's just the one now. I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine. For if I do not, I fear I might be remade as part of the new plan for Arcadia. I do not wish to be remade.
Return to your work, my fellow subject.
modulator's certainly bigger than a bread box. Fortunately, the ship makes a convenient carrying case. Just need to learn how it all works together.
I was notified that you were here, though my fellow scientists seemed rather confused as to why. Unsurprisingly. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. So you are familiar with the work we're doing? Tell me, what do you make of our experimentations? So then you've come to the same conclusions as I. Though, you're not the one I must convince to deviate from this mess that we're in. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The console's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. The deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Authorized visitor aboard. Do not be alarmed.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
This can't be right. If skip draws are causing the rifts, why are they showing up past the frontiers of known space?
Best table that topic for now. We can't do anything with the Rift modulator yet. Not until we deal with the console. So, shall we?
Look at you, here before me. Surprised you could outrun these new legs of mine. They're what everyone's going to be wearing next fall. Well, I'm here now. Where's the rift modulator? No matter, dear. I see a data cartridge on you that wasn't there before. I assume those are the schematics. Did you find anything else of note? Appreciate your sand. You have exactly the sort of go-getter attitude I admire. Well, good news, go-getter. The consul's right there through those doors. Ready to go get him? You might be savvy enough to talk him down, but his type requires a deft touch. You'll need to break him down brick by brick. If you're too adversarial, he'll simply shut down. Certainly. The doubt you cultivate up front will make him more susceptible to what comes after. And in case you aren't quite as sharp as you appear, be ready to fight.
Not that the console deserves it, none. But if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
I advise you to take this time to prepare and replenish supplies. See if you can snoop around and find a way to give yourself an advantage should these negotiations go south. And if you've anything else to say it now while you have the chance. I myself abhor unanswered questions and regrets.
The Sovereign was a naive fool. The Consul was a scheming sprat with delusions of competence. Time will tell which was more destructive.
Redactor Esmond. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being. Never would I ever have believed Auntie Cleo herself would walk through that door. But I haven't time to linger in the novelty. Sentinels, if you would.
Do I appear like someone afraid of a few guns? Give it up, Emery. You've lost this war. Have some dignity. You're coming off desperate.
On the contrary, this desperate action is what will save all of Arcadia and rid it forever of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I don't doubt that, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Oh, I'm sure you believe yourself capable. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Do you know how many bits our corporation lost when the delegation ships were destroyed? The savings from the deceased salaries hardly even make up for it.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken.
Your part in the plan has come to an end, Emery.
Curse you! You'll not damn Arcadia!
Let's get to the wall!
Target analyzed. Lay down the bomb. Back and stay.
Council's troops before we're overwhelmed.
seems all my considerable efforts here have been ill spent. Total rift destabilization is imminent. Our last resort is our only resort now. We need to fly the rift modulator in.
That was a rather substantial hole in my predictions. These rifts have presented an excessive supply of incalculable variables.
Oh, brighten up, everyone. Not all of us need go, but, someone present will need to take one for the team. I do appreciate the effort, dear, but it's clear we're in a bit of a tough spot. The Order and I will use the schematics and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies. If you're looking for a sap to fly that rickety rig, don't look at me. I intend to abscond back to my ship with those wonderful little schematics. I have plans for those plans. Oh, now why'd you have to bring that up? That's, I suppose you've made one hell of a sales pitch. Okay, fine. I'll do it.
I'm 93.47% certain I would never have predicted that. I assumed she'd delegate out personal sacrifice.
Oh, shut up, the lot of you! Don't make a fuss, or you'll make me change my mind. Ah, because of my metallic exterior? How very droll. Keep it up. It's not too late to glue your hand to the controls. Now, I think I've had my fill of this conversation. Simply take the schematics and depart my presence in awe-struck, misty-eyed silence.
So, in the end, moved by the ghosts of her past, Auntie Cleo boarded the ship and became the galaxy's unlikely savior. In her final moments, the ruthless Auntie's Choice CEO mused that maybe she was the best choice after all. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Inez's convincing appeals to the press earned her clout in reforming Auntie's Choice's cruel grafting program. Yet it was a constant struggle, rife with red tape and pushback from program executives. This was Inez's new battle, one she would fight for the rest of her life. Tristan continued to doggedly uphold Protectorate values. With Virgil dead, no one could oppose Tristan for the rank of Supreme Arbiter. Tristan used his new role to punish even the smallest infractions harshly. He eventually became a widely feared figure within his own society. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. But with the old Auntie dead, a new figurehead was needed to keep up appearances. Company execs fast-tracked auditions for a new Auntie. Some employees thought she looked suspiciously different, but were too overjoyed with the prospect of growing profits to care. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
a difficulty that puts story over combat. The person writing my dialogue thanks you for their gainful employment.